Hello, this is a continuation of Sick of Bruises. Written by Bunny0980. Read by Stick. Chapter 7. Tomra doesn't like cleaning. Summary. Tomra has a meeting for about 4 paragraphs. The rest is him complaining. Tomra let out an indignant screech as he lunged for the NPC, who dodged out of the way of Tomra's hands, eyes slightly wider than before. It didn't matter. Dodging would do nothing. He felt the slight whoosh as the man made an attempt to attack his back. Instead of letting this stand, Tomra thrust his hand in front of him again, feeling a hint of satisfaction when it rushed through a wispy purple portal. A shriek escaped the NPC's lips as Tomra grasped a flailing object through the portal, likely an arm. The shots increased as the man tried to wrestle his arm away from the quick-acting cork to no avail. Within seconds, Tomra felt a warm, red liquid splash against his back as the man finally stopped shouting, leaving dead silence in his wake. The blue net felt a laugh bubble over at the lack of noise as he yanked his hand from the portal, watching it close. The laugh only devolved more into a cackle as he spun to look at the bloody mess that had once been a man. Not anymore. Stone-turned skin was strewn through the blood, only accentuating it. There was a strong smell of decay in the air. Figures. What a mess. Kary did not look pleased. Whatever. The NPC deserved it. Tomura had been perfectly sensible. He had even used the tips Izuku had told him to try to recruit the NPC. Even if Tomura hated him, like Izuku had said, the NPCs that he didn't like could just be used as bait. It was the NPC's fault he was dead, and they were almost done with the meeting. If he just kept his mouth shut, Tomura probably would have let him walk out of here with little more than a glare. But no, the man just had to insult Tomura's leadership. Tomura was a great leader, and now Kary was giving him a dirty look for the mess. He stalked over to the bar, slouching down in one of the stools. "I'm thirsty." Kary glared, but moved to get him something to drink. A few seconds later, Tomura had a glass of water seating in front of him. He felt his eye twitch. Looking up at his misty caretaker, Tomura said the only reasonable thing. "Are you trying to poison me?" Kary merely sighed, far too used to this reaction. "It's water. Tomra, you have to drink water, or else you'll die." "I do perfectly fine with soda." Kary scoffed. "Your sleep schedule says otherwise." Tomura's eyes narrowed. "I don't need sleep." "Drink the water, Tomura." Kary glared. "No." "Yes."
"No."
"Yes."
"I want soda."
"I don't care." The two stood there glaring at each other, not willing to let the other win. Tomura was not going to drink that. Finally, Kary sighed, and Tomura smiled in triumph. "If you drink the water, you can have soda." Tomura's smile dropped. He hissed, staring unblinkingly at Kary. They were locked in a staring contest that both refused to lose. Unfortunately, Tomura eventually had to blink. Stupid missed in his inability to need a blink. He didn't want water, but he did want soda. With a scowl, Tomura snatched the glass of water and drank it in one big gulp, grimacing as he coughed. "See, was that so hard?" Tomra glared at the man.
Give me Coke, or I'll kill you right now.
Kary merely sighed as he moved to grab the drink for him. So violent. Do you really have to threaten everybody you come across? I thought you were better than that.
God may judge me, but his own sins outnumber my own.
Kary squinted at his charge, a small strain in his voice as he spoke. Do you really have to meme about death? Tomura gave a resolute nod.
Yes. Besides, Sensei is basically a god, and his sins definitely are worse than mine.
The misty man sighed. He couldn't refute that point. Fine then. Here's a different approach. He raised an eyebrow as he sipped his Coke.
What could possibly say to get me to kill less people?
Tomura imagined that if he had a mouth, Kary would be smiling right now. What would Izuku think if he found you murdering people because you were insulted? Wasn't he the one to tell you to keep even the people you don't like? The red-eyed man choked on his drink, turning his face away from the chuckling caretaker.
I don't care what he thinks. He's just a stupid NPC.
Kary gave a dramatic gasp, placing a misty hand on his chest. You don't care about him? Well then, I suppose you wouldn't care if I told him that, right? And you wouldn't care if I told him to stop coming. Tomura growled, but couldn't deny that yes, he would care. Stupid positive emotions. When did he even start feeling these emotions? They were annoying. The laughter finally subsided as Kary gave an exhausted sigh. He surveyed the blood and guts strewn about the room. You made such a mess. How do you plan on cleaning this? Tomura pricked up with wide eyes.
Clean it. Isn't that your job?
Yellow eyes turned to Tomura, looking at him as if he were stupid. I'm not going to clean your mess. You need to learn responsibility anyway. This death is especially bloody, and I have books to read.
What? So you're just going to abandon me?
The red-eyed man sputtered.
How do I even clean this?
Kary sighed again. Why should he sigh? I have to clean this. You know where the cleaning supplies are. Use them. And then he floated away, up the bar stairs to his room, leaving Tomura alone to clean the mess he had made. Dang it. With a frustrated groan, Tomura stomped up to the closet where they kept cleaning supplies for situations like this. He grabbed a mop, as well as the bucket that had went with it. The bucket, stained red with the faint scent of death, was lugged to the bar's sink, where Tomura filled it with a steady stream of water. Stupid Kary. How dare he make me clean this up? He just left. The least he could do was help me. Tomura turned off the water as he glanced around the room. His eyes fell on a half-empty bottle of red wine. Kary was probably going to finish it today. A twisted smile took over his face as he crept up to the bottle. Revenge is the only option. He grabbed the wine and went over to the fridge, snatching the old, cheap grape juice that hadn't ever been touched. Tomura's satisfaction reached its peak as he poured every last drop of wine into the sink, and Kary wouldn't even notice because he'll assume it's blood. After dumping out Kary's pride and joy, Tomura filled half the bottle with grape juice before putting the grape juice back in the fridge and the wine bottle where he found it. Kary wouldn't notice any differences, since when he had wine, he was always exhausted. That's what you get for making me responsible and pick up after myself. Tomura stood there laughing for a few seconds. Yes, this was the best choice. And now, he had a clean. Ew. Grabbing the filled-up bucket, the red-eyed man took the mop and went over to the blood-stained wood, He set the bucket down and aggressively grabbed the mop, anger in his movements. He was about to start when Tomura's phone rang with a familiar ringtone. He immediately dropped the mop. No, it was not because he was surprised. Grabbing the phone from his pocket with his pinky up. On the phone, Izuku's name stood out in white letters. But Izuku that Tomura had a meeting today, which meant that the older was busy. Why would he be calling now?